I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated and please silence your cell phones, please. Okay, first let's welcome our special guest, our speaker, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Hollis, Cantrell-Lyon, and she's here to speak to us about the Military Women's Memorial. And then we'd like to recognize our ARC leadership who are in the audience, our Director of Development, Anna Sweden, our resident board members, Colonel Lawson Magruder, Colonel Carol Hubner, and Colonel Rick Wright. But most especially, we want to welcome the women veterans of the ARC who are here today, and all the women veterans at the Army Residence Community. There, as I said earlier, there are approximately 50 women veterans, and we want to celebrate you today. So we're gonna fast forward. So we've had some little technical difficulties this morning, but I want to say that I'm very pleased and relieved to see that Lieutenant Colonel Lyon got here this morning. I was very concerned when I was watching all the traffic news, and I really admire her for getting here. She was not in the Navy, but you did a good job of getting across San Antonio with all that water. So we are going to provide a little breach of protocol here, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. So, Hollis, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. And thank you guys for letting me come out and speak to you. I'm really excited that you're here, and I'm very excited to be here.
We got hearing issues here.
Okay. Let's try this. Is this better? Okay. Sorry about that. I'm really happy to be here. I look across the room and I see so many stories that we can put into our memorial. And I'm super, super excited about it. Oh, so a little bit about me. I enlisted in 1987, and then I went through ROTC, had a bunch of fun assignments. I went to Germany. I spent 3.5 years there, doing all kinds of fun intel stuff. But as you know, when you're an officer, you don't get to do as much fun stuff, especially the higher you get. You're just a staff officer. So I can say that I am a T as in train as a staff officer. I had a couple commands in company, a command in as a colonel. Then I worked for Human Resource Command, which is our percent, no, it's our percent anymore. I forget the Air Force equivalent, I should know that. And then I was an Inspector General, everybody's friend. Everybody loves the IG, right? You see him coming and you're like, Heisman, okay. And I retired in 2017 after 29.5 years of active and reserve service, and decided to come here because this is a great place for vets to be. And so I'm here now, and I'm happily married. I have 2 Flame Point Siamese cats that help us do everything. They were actually helping me, type up the slide presentation, because you know how cats are. They're very, very helpful. And so, I enjoy scuba diving, but the best thing I get to do now that I'm retired is I just give back to the community. I moved a lot when I was on active duty, so I can give back to the community through the Military Women's Memorial as an ambassador, coming out and talking to folks like you. I also work for Education Foundation for STEM education through the state of Texas, and then I'm also on the board of Youth Code Jam, which is another STEM education for K through 8. So I'm pretty devoted into the STEM education, just because San Antonio is going to be a hot spot. That's going to be the next cyber command kind of area with a lot of opportunities, and we need to make sure that the people here are the children that we're growing our workforce. So anyway, enough about that. So the reason you came, this is the entrance to the memorial. It's at the beginning, or the front of, when you drive up the Arlington Cemetery is on your left. I'm sorry, there we go. And we are the only national memorial in DC that is both an indoor and an outdoor museum. Like World War II, Memorial, Korean Memorial, Vietnam, Lincoln, Jefferson, they're all outside. But this is our outside, and then we have an inside. Oh, this is me. This should be a video. Well, we thought we had stuff fixed. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's just one of those days. That's not right.
The arrow there.
God. But you can't see it. That way. Oh, you can see mine. Oh no, because there's a video that goes with this. Ah.
We got off at the metro site, and oh my God, I looked to my left down toward the memorial, and it was just a sea of people. And you couldn't find an empty place all the way down to the Lincoln Memorial.
When I served in the Navy, women were not even allowed to vote.
There were tens upon tens of thousands of people there, all helping to give recognition to the immensity of what this memorial was.
Ah, yes. Thank you. She's a miracle.
We got off at the metro site, and oh my God, I looked to my left down toward the memorial, and it was just a sea of people. And you couldn't find an empty place all the way down to the Lincoln Memorial.
When I served in the Navy, women were not even allowed to vote.
There were tens upon tens of thousands of people there, all helping to give recognition to the immensity of what this memorial was and will be.
We are here today at Arlington Cemetery before this beautiful memorial on sacred ground to honor and pay tribute to the generations of American women who have served and are serving in our nation's armed forces.
It was so powerful, and there was nothing else to do but cry.
Thank you. America knows what you do and what you have done. Maybe it hasn't always been recognized in the past, but today we proclaim loudly and clearly, we recognize it, we're grateful for it, we say God bless you, and we will always thank you for helping to make our country what it is.
Well, I was sitting on the dais, and one of the things I had planned was for the military to bring the flags of the states and territories down that aisle. I have talked to some of the people who were carrying those flags, and they said it was one of the most unforgettable moments of their life, because people were reaching out and touching those flags. It meant so much to them.
I am Captain Linda Bray. I stand for the women who served in Grenada, Panama, and the Gulf War.
It was overwhelming. It was a feeling of pride. It was a feeling of camaraderie to see so many women in one place. And to have them still wearing their hats or maybe their ribbons on their suit.
That's one of the things I had encouraged them to do, was if you can't wear your uniform, wear whatever part of it fits. So some of them had on their hat. That's all they had when they came.
Shortly, the doors of your memorial will be open.
Let's go down and cut the ribbon. There are so many memories of the dedication, and one of them is a quotation from an Army nurse that served in World War II. And to me, it epitomizes what this memorial is about. When she wrote, "Let the generations know that women in uniform also guaranteed our freedom, that our resolve was just as great as the brave men who stood among us. And with victory, our tears fell just as hard." And that's the mission of the memorial, to let the generations know that women in uniform also guaranteed their freedom.
That's a tearjerker. I'm sorry, that's just a tearjerker.
Good afternoon. This is Phyllis Wilson coming to you from the Military Women's Memorial located at the ceremonial entrance to Arlington National Cemetery.
That's not what we're supposed to do.
Hello, I'm Marilla Cushman.
Sorry, again, technical difficulties. Obviously, I wasn't a good enough staff officer. Now I don't know how to get back to what I need. Yeah, sorry, we can begin. I'm sorry, we only have one more hiccup in this. I promise, just one more hiccup. But as you can see, when the dedication of the memorial, when it opened, it was, you just can't even describe it. It was so awesome. Thank you. Nope. There we go. Here we go. All right. So basically, the mission, as Wilmavot said, is to honor and tell the stories of the 3 million women who served from the Revolutionary War up to today's current conflicts. We've helped defend the country. We've done things crazy like pretended we were boys so that we could go and serve. So, I mean, there's a lot of crazy things we've done because we love our country so much. And this is just the opportunity for everyone to tell their story and share. And we're two organizations in one. We're the memorial, and then we're also an education center. So the memorial is free to visit 24/7 on the outside. The inside will be open and closed. But the inside for that education, we've got artifacts, we have research, and we do things, we keep reaching out to veterans and finding ways that we can incorporate their stories into this as an education platform for women veterans. This is a little show inside. This is what the memorial looks like. You can note the proverbial glass ceiling is right up there. And then the uniform on the left is honoring a World War II service member. And we have 3 pillars. Our first, obviously, is to honor all women veterans, to let them tell their stories. We want to capture stories of veterans and women currently serving, because if we don't capture and record our experiences, no one will know. And it impacts our country in peacetime and in conflicts, because we're always there. We're always there. Even if you didn't serve in a conflict, you are still there supporting. The second pillar is to educate and empower women who have served, like us. The Education Center showcases the inspiring stories of women who have made a difference and can inspire future service members. We also have an incredible oral history department, and our oral history department was what the Library of Congress used to set up. They used our model to set up their living history project. So we're doing, we do a lot of great things. Third pillar, sorry, is to remember, always remember what we've done, what we can do, what we are going to do in the future. And we need that baseline. Right now, we approximately have 10% of the military women who have served. So we've got a huge gap we want to fill. And we need Americans, we need you guys, we need your families and your friends to help fill in that gap. Because every story provides light to what we have done and what we will continue to do. We also have, it's really awesome, it's called the Color of Freedom exhibit. And it goes around the country, it travels very well. It's set up in sections so it can fit, it's a 40-foot, but it can fit in pretty much a 10 by 10 by 10 by 10 spot. And we honor, up to the left, Harriet Tubman. We've got Lieutenant Colonel Charity Adams Early and Michelle Howard, who was the first 4-star admiral. And in our living history collection, she actually does her own oral history, which is pretty cool. The first female 4-stars doing her own thing. And in the top left, this photo up here, this is Lieutenant Colonel Charity Adams Early's uniform. And if you're not familiar with her story, she commanded the 6888, which was a postal company. And I'm going to read this so I don't mess it up. She was the commanding officer and the first unit of the Women's Army Corps of African Americans to serve overseas. And their mission was to deliver the undeliverable mail to service members. They do have a Netflix movie, 6888. Kerry Washington plays Lieutenant. Some of you guys are very familiar with this. You know your history, yay. But Tyler Perry directed it, Kerry Washington played the lead, and then they both came up to see our exhibits because it was such a strong and powerful story. And then we have Sarah Keyes Evans, and she was the first one to not stand up on the bus. She was the precursor to Rosa Parks, and through her stamina and dedication and understanding that she shouldn't have to give up her seat for a white male, she fought and fought and fought, and then she was able, she actually won her lawsuit because she sued. And they said basically, hey, you know what, this is it. So when Rosa Parks would not stand up to give her seat to someone else, it was because Sarah had paved the way. So just truly an amazing story. And women like these, I mean, she was in for 2 years, but she impacted and made such a difference on us. And her story is amazing, and we have it. And then we have Tayomi Nakanishi. And she was an American citizen in California. Japan bombed. They rounded up everyone who was Japanese. Didn't matter if you were a citizen or not. And took them to these internment camps. And finally, when they were allowed out of the internment camps, she signs up, she enlists, then she goes through language training, and then she was an interpreter, no, not an interpreter, translator, thank you, yes, translator, and was helping the G2 in, oh, you know it better than I do, I'm sorry, what was it? I'm horrible, I know. But she basically was translating for the U.S. service, intelligence service, and helping America get rid of the Japanese and end that war. And then we have Lori Paestoa. And I happen to live in Phoenix when they changed Squaw Peak to Paestaway Parkway. She's the first Hopi Indian, first Native American who died in service. And she was with the 507th Maintenance Company. That might sound familiar because that was also the company with Jessica Lynch, and they were actually battle buddies, BFFs. And it was because of Lori that Jessica lived. So Jessica goes to the dedication of Piastaway Parkway every year because she's grateful for the service and that Lori saved her life. So the future, this is where you guys come involved. Right now, we're striving for 25,000 new registrations this year. And if you break it down, it's like 500 per state. So I passed out some cards, but what we want to do is we want to capture this QR code, because that QR code is going to take you to the registry where you can sign up, and I'll stay after and we can do this on your phones, so that you can sign up and you can start looking through the registry, and then you can share your story. Anyone can register. The Hello Girls, Civil Air Patrol, Red Cross, Donut Dollies. Julia Childs is in there with her service with the OSS. And then Marilyn Monroe and Brooke Shields are in there for their service with the USO. Everybody counts. Everybody counts. So I'm gonna kind of run through this a little bit quick, but it comes up to this page. You enter your name. This is an eye chart. You guys probably can't see it very well, but simple registration. And we want you to register on your device so that you save it and it's yours. Because once you get this account, it's always yours. And then you hit complete my registration and you have access to all the information in the registration. And if you want to look up service members that you served with, you can do that. And if you see someone and you want to reach out to them, you can go through the Military Women's Memorial and ask, because we do respect PII. We don't want any like crazy stalkers. And then you're done. Then the hard part is finding that right photo of you in service. And well, it's got to be the right one. I think, yeah, anyway. So, and then telling your story. Limited character, it's got a limited character, or character limit. So you kind of have to be precise, or you can change it, but you sit down and, you know, tell those stories that really impacted you, or mine has the time I spent with my battalion commander in Iraq. She just retired as a 2-star, but she made the most impact on me. And I learned so much from her, and to me that was incredible. So, and then here are just some examples. We do it in a baseball style card. So you've got your photo, your memorable experience, awards, conflicts, wherever you served. And this would be Army. And then so that the Navy or the Air Force knows, we've got one for the Air Force, you know, because not every service is different. So again, everybody has a different story. Their narrations are sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. It depends on what you want to share. And again, wow, she's got a lot of awards and decorations. But all these things, and then we have someone that, you know, doesn't have a whole lot, but, her father was a steward in the Navy. And she became a doctor and ended her career as the White House surgeon. So, you know, her father got her in, and she's also a part of the Freedom of Color, or the Color of Freedom exhibit. And again, lieutenant colonels, NCOs, everyone is able. And this, she was a member of the 688th, and the movie, the Netflix movie, is told from her eyes. And she recently passed, but she was able to see the film before she passed, which was kind of cool. And again, not a whole lot of crazy things, but it's kind of cool to see what people did and when. And oh, hey, I could have been in the same conflict, or I could have been the same AOR. So, and then this is always so nice. Her favorite pictures with her daughter. I mean, how sweet is that? So we want to get you guys signed up today. We can just get your account started, and then you guys can go back in and start really getting the creative juices flowing and write what you want to write, so that you're a part of this, because we need everyone's voice. And currently, we're updating this 30-year-old building. We're revitalizing it because our 2027 is our 30th year, our 30-year memorial. And so Phyllis, who's the director, she wants to do another film like we saw at the beginning. And like I went to the 25th year, and it was amazing because you have all these service members of all shapes, sizes, colors, disciplines, and you all know each other immediately because you share that bond of service. And it's very, very inspiring, very inspiring. So I will be at the 30th with some of my mentors from the day, just to celebrate. But we're bringing it up to date so we can include more artifacts, more stories, just improve technology because things have changed. One of the comments that she made is, we received this building and we commemorated the building 10 years before the iPhone came out. Now with you guys, you understand because we grew up without iPhones, right? But some of the younger, they're like, what? Okay, this is the next film. I'm gonna see if I can do this without being terrible. Okay, so, oh, yes, yes.
From America's beginning, women have answered the call to serve. Our stories of triumph and sacrifice are vital to our country's history. We serve in every branch of the military, at every level, as warriors, innovators, and leaders. The Military Women's Memorial is the only national memorial dedicated to the lives of American servicewomen. For more than 20 years, our world-class education center has brought the nation together to honor their courage, determination, and love of country. The Military Women's Memorial will bring these stories to life for a new generation. Help us honor her service.
We are a 501c3, so we're always looking for fundraising, always looking for funds to, again, continue to improve the building, reach out, and keep getting people's stories. Again, if you want to donate, we would love it. Approximately 80% of our funding comes from women veterans, me included. And we want to get you guys started. So I appreciate it. I know I'm not like super crazy and exciting, but it's, well, it's serious. This is a really, really great thing for us women because we can tell our story, people can read our story. Your grandchildren or your children, your grandchildren, they can go online and they can see it and they know what you've done to serve your country. And again, we only have 10%. So we need more people to tell their stories. I mean, we've got so much knowledge and just, I can't even imagine what stories are in this crowd that you guys should share because no one will ever have your experience again. And what we did, what you guys did to help me get to where I am, to make it better for the women service members today, that's critical. I mean, that's how we know that we've done something. So again, I'll be here. First, do we have any questions? I'm sorry, I forgot questions. Yes, ma'am.
Do you mean only 10% have registered of all the women in the site?
Yes, ma'am.
It's also a great story for husbands of women who were in the military, like me. I wasn't in the military, but I love what she did.
Thank you. Yes, it is. It's really important to tell your story, and I appreciate your time. I apologize for all of the delays, but I think it kind of turned out okay. I mean, we got through it. No one died. No one lost an eye, right? So I'll turn it back to you.
Well, Colonel Cantrell, that was absolutely wonderful. I really appreciate it. But the films, the information memorial, and your own personal reflections, It was just great. And this is a day of celebration and education, and that's what the memorial is all about. And we will have an art challenge coin for you here before you leave. So thank you very much. Now, ladies, we're going to recognize you, and we're going to play the service songs. And when your service song is played, please stand or raise your hand and let us honor you in your service. So whenever our AV Thanks, everybody. And congratulations. So I'd like to thank our guest speaker, Colonel Cantrell. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like to thank our staff members who supported this effort. Felicia Clary, Deja, our pastry chef, Pasquale, our volunteer leaders, Colonels Joan Vanderlant and Ella Gordon, and all the ARC residents who came out to help us celebrate this day. And we also want to recognize there are staff members here. They weren't able to be with us because of course they're working, but we do want to thank those folks as well. So I'd just like to conclude by reminding you of the tables in the back of the room, the books, the stones, the list of resources. And I also want to emphasize something that Colonel Cantrell said. Every veteran has a story, and I can promise you that every woman veteran has a story. And I challenge you for the rest of this day to find out the stories of women veterans that you know, and maybe even the women veterans that you don't know. ask them for their stories. So thank you very much for your kind attention. Enjoy this day of celebration and have some cake. And
For all of us, I'm speaking for us all, this was a wonderful program, and I appreciate it very much. It was very enlightening, and I really want to thank everybody that had a part in getting this together.
And magically, the Art Challenge coin appeared. I didn't